Hello again. In this video, we are going to talk about building confidence. Now, we've talked about this idea of confidence quite a bit through this program, and that's because it's such a critical piece to this program. Most of my students, when they come to the program, the first thing they say is, I don't feel confident, and I want to feel more confident when I speak English. So that's really our goal here. Our goal is to build your skills so that you can build your confidence. Because with that confidence, you'll be able to do amazing things. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about two powerful ideas of how to build confidence. Now, you've probably felt that confidence build as you have gone through this course, as you've developed those skills of speaking clearly. You've been able to build that confidence and feel more sure of yourself when you speak English. Now let's talk about these two powerful ideas today. The first is to think positive. Now, I don't want to sound cheesy or over the top, but I do believe that the mind is a powerful, powerful tool. It's what's driving us. It's what shapes our world and our perspective. And as we feed our mind positive things, we will get positive results from it. Now, in contrast to that is negativity. Okay, so a lot of my students, what I hear when they first come into the program is, I sound awful, or I just can't do it. I can't seem to figure out how to speak clearly. I'll never be able to get better or overcome this challenge. I hear students talking about other people judging them and that it's too hard to be able to overcome this. Now, this negative thinking just has to stop. We have to stop that negative thought. You have to stop telling yourself you can't, or it's too hard, or you can't overcome this. Now, in contrast to that, most of my students, they say, oh, I have these feelings and this negativity, but most of them have shaped this into positive thinking and said, I'm going to find an answer. And that's when they find me, and that's probably what happened with you, is that you decided, I don't want to have this negative result in my life, and I don't want this negativity in my life. I want to find something better. I want to feel better about myself, and that's when you came searching, and thankfully you were able to find this program. So that's great. So we really do have to stop that negative thinking. That's the first step. First step to building confidence is we have to stop that negative thinking, but it's not just stopping the negative thinking. We have to replace the negative with the positive. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, one way that I've found in my life of shaping that positive thinking is looking at it in terms of questions. Now, a negative thought would be, can I do it? Or a negative question would be, can I do it? Now, changing that to the positive is, I can do it, and then how can I do it? Because it's not just saying I can do it and now I can do it. No, we have to figure out how to do things and how to overcome these things. So the question of can I do it is doubt-based. It's not sure, very sure of yourself. But if we change that to how can I do it, it really opens up the mind to the possibility that there is a solution to the problem. And that's probably what you came to is, I can do this. How can I do this, and who's going to help me? Now, another possible negative question is it possible? Is it possible to even overcome an accent? Is it possible to be able to speak like an American or speak as close to a native speaker as possible? Is that possible? Now, this is kind of closed-minded. Is it possible? I don't know. We need to change that to it is possible. And why is it possible, or how is it possible? Okay, so that question really opens up the possibilities. Will this work? Change it to it will work, and how will I make it work? So that puts the power in you to be able to say, I am going to make this work, and how am I going to make this work? All right, so positive things happen to positive people. We have to feed that positivity if we want positive results in our life. Okay, so that's the key. That's the very first step. We have to have that positive thinking because our mind is what is driving us. It's what's carrying us forward. Now, the second step is very, very powerful. Once we have our mind in the right place, then the second step is work hard every day. That is the key to building confidence. Now, I love this quote from Roger Staubach. I hope I'm saying that name correctly, but so Roger is a former NFL football player. So he won many Super Bowls, championships. He was in the U.S. Navy before he joined the NFL, and he has had a lot of success in his sports career. So he has won Heisman trophies, MVPs, had a lot of success in his career in football. And what he says is, confidence doesn't come out of nowhere. It's a result of something. Hours and days and weeks and years of constant work and dedication. I love the way he puts that because it is not just something that comes out of thin air. It's not just something that's all of a sudden I have confidence. It is built. It's a result of something. It's a result of those hours and days and years of constant work and dedication. Okay, now you've probably seen a lot of that as you've gone through this course. You've seen how as you are consistent and you've worked through the program and you've built those skills that you've developed more confidence. That confidence has been a result of something. It's been a result of your steady, consistent effort. So I want to really emphasize that as we talk about confidence is that it is developed, it is built by that steady effort. All right, so one thing to make sure is clear is that confidence doesn't come from these quick fix programs. It doesn't come from I'm going to put in a really strong effort for a short amount of time and I'm going to get the results that I want. That's not how it works. Anything that you feel very, very confident in is because you've had years and years of steady progress and growth with that. You've worked hard for a long period of time. So I like to think of it as a stair step, so a staircase. Now, in achieving that goal or building that confidence, you have to first establish what the goal is, okay? Not everybody's going to be climbing the same set of stairs. You have to identify what is your goal, what are you hoping to accomplish. So in this situation, if it's, I want to feel completely and totally confident standing in front of a group of native English speakers and feel like my message will be understood, that I can speak powerfully, that I can speak effectively, and that I won't have any fears or anything associated with that experience with speaking in front of native English speakers. Great, wonderful goal. Okay, that's our goal. Then we have to identify the steps. What steps do we have to take to be able to accomplish that goal? Now you've done this through this course as you identified that goal of I need to reduce my accent, I need to speak clear, confident English, and you've identified that step of I need to get some help from a program. You identified those steps and you've been taking those steps and moving forward. Okay, now at this stage of the program, you've come so far, you've done so much, but there's still progress to be made. There's still that building confidence, building skills. What else is it that you need to develop? What else do you need to learn to be able to keep moving forward? Now I've talked about it a number of times where unless you're staying consistent with your practice, you're going to lose the progress that you've made. So in this situation, you have to keep moving forward. You have to keep moving forward and practicing and keeping that steady effort, or you'll be moving backwards. And that's the unfortunate thing about shaping our speech patterns is that it's just like working out at a gym or building muscle, things like that. If you're not strengthening it, you're losing it. So you have to stay steady and you have to keep moving forward. Now it might be that, oh, I've made 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and then 3 steps forward and then 2 steps back, or 1 step forward as you go along. So it might be, that's just human nature. That's how it works, is we kind of move forward and we kind of move back. But as long as we're over time taking those steps forward and moving in that direction, you'll see the results of your efforts and you'll see that growth over a period of time. So we have to be realistic with our goals, but with that steady effort, you will be able to make it. Okay, just know that these goals, it takes time, it takes some studying, it takes being consistent with that effort, and you have to stay focused. Okay, there's a lot of distractions in life, there's a lot that can carry you away, but you have to establish, what are my goals, what do I hope to accomplish? And it's not just this, I didn't put a picture of a guy running up the stairs. It's just walking steadily, one step by one step by one step. And it's that steady progress that will make the difference. All right, I love this idea of, here's your comfort zone, and we have a circle with our comfort zone, what we're comfortable doing. And then a big circle over here outside of your comfort zone that says, this is where the magic happens. Okay, this is where those goals are accomplished. That's where we're able to achieve those things that most people don't. All right, that's where the magic happens, and that's where I want you to be. I want you to feel uncomfortable. I want you to feel like you're being stretched and you're progressing, because in that feeling is when you're going to really get the results that you need. Okay, one thing that my dad likes to tell me is, if it were easy, everyone would do it. And it really does that quote comes back to a movie called A League of Their Own, and it's Tom Hanks is the actor that says it. But he says, if it were easy, everyone would do it. And I think that that's a great thing to remember in learning English, learning to feel confident and build that confidence, learning any skill or anything that's outside of our comfort zone. If it were easy, everyone would do it. So it has to be hard, it has to be challenging to set yourself apart from the rest. Okay, so as we wrap this all up, I want to come to this quote that I have here. It says, almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. Okay, the future can be better than the present. Think positive. And I have the power to make it so. So as we talk about these two powerful ideas of building confidence, the future will be better than the past, or better than the present. So that's the idea of thinking positive. We have to shape our mind so that we can act in that positive direction. And I have the power to make it so. I have the power, you have the power, we have the power to make that happen. And the power is in you. So it's through that steady and consistent effort that change will happen, and I know it will for you. And I know it probably has. It probably has already. And I know it will continue to do so as you continue to set those goals and stretch yourself. Now I have a challenge for you. Now I want, in the download section, I have a piece of paper with these questions on it. And I want you to actually write them out, whether it's typing them out or physically writing them with a pen or a pencil. Because I feel like that action of doing, really solidifies these goals for you. So what I want you to do is you ask yourself, do I feel confident? In the state that I am right now, in my English speaking abilities, do I feel confident? Are there settings where I don't feel confident? Okay, are there situations or settings still that you don't feel confident? If so, I want you to write those down. What settings, what situations, where am I still feeling unsure of myself? Okay, what is my goal? I want you to establish what your goal is. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to become? What situation do you want to see in your mind of, this is, when I have accomplished this, then I feel like, okay, I have accomplished that goal. So really think about that. What is my goal? What do I want to become? What do you want to become? And what is that end goal? And then let's establish what daily actions must you take to achieve that goal. Okay, really identify what are those daily steps. Now it might be that you haven't been as consistent with your practice. And now you're establishing, okay, I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to go back to some of these videos. I'm going to go back through the program and identify some of those areas that are still weak for me. And I'm going to review and practice every single day, or every other day, or 5 times a week, okay? Make sure that there is that steady and consistent practice in that skill that you're wishing to develop. Now, it might be that you are feeling very confident in your English speaking ability, and it's just more of those presentation skills or the public speaking skills that you're still feeling a little less confident on. Now, I encourage you to then, okay, take those steps. What's that next step? What skills do I need to develop, or what resources do I need to go to make sure that I can accomplish that goal? Now, with public speaking, something that I've mentioned before, but is the Toastmasters program. Toastmasters is an international organization that has meetings. You'll have a local chapter and meetings that you can go and practice public speaking. Now, that might be your next step in developing those skills. So identify that goal, identify what you want to become, and the steps that need to be taken. Maybe those goals are going to be accomplished through going back through the program and continuing on with this program. Maybe it's continuing this program and adding something else to it. Maybe it's within your work setting that there's the areas that you need to grow. Okay, identify that and establish those daily habits, or those daily accomplishments to make that happen. Okay, my hope for you is that we can go from I can't, I can, I will, and then I did. Okay, that's the end goal here, is saying I did it. I did it. Not that and it has to start with some of these others. First it might be, I'm not so sure I can, but we have to change that to the positive. I can and I will do it, and then it becomes I did. So go ahead and fill out these worksheets. Really take some time to think about these things, and what your goals are, and I'll see you again in the next video.